I got so into it.
I
All right.
know. I that's why I said I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I didn't
We
want to
we
disturb you.
no, we need to we need to do that because obviously now we are not recording Inner Circle AMA or Imaginators. I'm sorry, not shooting them live. We are recording them for playback. So this will be coming up on the YouTube's
The
channel
YouTube, yeah.
as soon as we're done or shortly thereafter. So, welcome everybody. It is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, or whatever time it happens to be where you are, because you are watching us right now. It's Thursday, June 20th, and it's time for the Inner Circle. And we are so glad to have each and every one of you with us. And we just appreciate you joining us. So, before we get started, a couple of quick announcements. Obviously, Robert is somewhere in Cabo right now and enjoying himself. Yes, Peter, he is there. Probably a little closer to you than we are to him at this moment. So, no, really? Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna have to. Where? Okay, I'm gonna unmute you,
You
Peter.
have to unmute him, yeah.
Where are you right now?
We're in Canada.
Toronto,
Oh,
Canada, just north
what?
of New
I don't
York,
know
Oh,
why.
that's
North of you guys.
definitely, I was gonna say, that's definitely way far away from Mexico.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were a little closer than that. So,
yeah.
So they're closer to them
That's
yesterday.
okay.
Before they flew from Montana, you guys were closer. But
gotcha.
now,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
so that makes
Good to have you guys on
Matt, you
here.
and I a little closer. A little, not much.
Well, I was saying, Hannah was like, we could just drive down there. And I'm like, yeah, we'd have to drive through Mexico. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. And
know?
besides, yeah, exactly. So, anyways, since we figured let's go ahead and do an inner circle, and if you do have questions for Matt, myself, or somebody else here, let's go ahead and share. Before we get started, of course, the usual stuff, the usual announcements is if you have a question that you'd like to ask, you can put it in the chat here in Zoom, uh, or you can go ahead and raise your hand by clicking on the reactions button. If you put your cursor in the middle of the screen, right down there on the bottom. Let's see. Let me do something. There we go. So you see the button right down below here, right but down below me, reactions. Click on that and then click on raise hand and we will call on you. If you don't see that reactions button there, then look for the three dots with the more below it. That's a different button. Click on that, then click on reactions, click on raise hand, and we will call on you. And there we go. So we might as well go ahead and get started. Um, I know that Matt, we wanted to discuss maybe a little something about this weekend. If we wanted to share, and you may have something to share also, please feel free to. But let's go ahead and get started with everybody who's
Yeah.
here.
Thank you so much, Craig. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Oh,
You know, you
wait a minute,
got,
Matt. Hold on.
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
Matthew
no.
Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. Love and appreciate you. Thank you so
Love and
much.
appreciate you.
See, normally it's like either I'm not here or you're not here. So it's like us both
Yeah,
being here. This
lately.
is the second week in a row that you guys got us. So that's pretty great. But I'm grateful to be on here with these calls. Like when my dad's not on them, me and Craig like to kind of just freestyle and help you guys with whatever we can. So if you guys have any questions about anything, it could be about, I mean, I'm open to pretty much any question. So if you guys have any questions about marketing stuff, any questions about YouTube, creative stuff, mental health stuff, there's some stuff like that that we've talked about in the past. And it always benefits everybody when you do share. So thank you guys so much. As far as the weekend goes, we were thinking, since we're kind of doing an AMA in a sense here to help you guys, because we're not going to be doing breakthroughs with you individually like my dad does. We were thinking with Saturday, what we might do instead of an AMA is kind of have just a um, private imaginators meeting in a sense where we can help you out with more creative ideas, like kind of like an extra step that's specifically like imaginators, except I don't know, it would be more helpful. It would be just like a Zoom we'd all get on. It wouldn't be something extravagant or anything like that. but just something extra, since my dad's gonna be out of town till next Monday. So me and Craig were just kicking around. What could we do for you guys to kind of help you out over the weekend? Because me and him are gonna be here. So as much as we can do. And I was also thinking too, of doing a stream in the Imagineers group, or in the Telegram and stuff, or it could be private on here. And that would be more of me like actually making things for you guys. Like I want to be able to be a help as much as I can, but not like over like maybe it would be like a bi-weekly thing or like once a month kind of thing where I could help you guys do your YouTube banners or figure out certain aspects that you want done with your story or help you flesh them out a little bit and stuff. And I know Craig absolutely would be a massive help to those as well. We were just talking about storytelling stuff before we got you guys on here because he's has his acting coach and she's been giving him stuff to look at and stuff. So with that said, I think that's all I have to say currently. uh if any of you guys have any questions, raise your hand, Craig. We'll just take people as they go. You can also write your questions in chat. We'll answer them there also. So thank you guys for being on here.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate you. Now, before we get going, Kai, did you still want to raise your hand? I saw it go up. If not, that's okay. You do. Okay, very good. All right, because it went. I saw it go up and then it went down. So I've got you second. So here's what I've got. I've got Sandy Baker. You're going to be coming up. Kai will be next. But the first person whose hands went up is that Dee Dee lady. So
That's right,
Dee
Dee
Dee,
Dee.
go ahead and mute yourself and go ahead and share with us.
So I don't really have anything to share except for I'm jelly about the trip. And I
Hey,
I did my
yeah.
live yesterday and I said, hey, a lot of people I know are going to Cabo tomorrow. So I need to figure out how to do the work to
Mm-hmm.
get the trips. But that is one thing I'll share. But secondly, I need help and maybe I should wait until this weekend. But is the best um application, the Visor, to take my lives and download them and upload them to YouTube. I've done several lives now, but I haven't put them on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.
Okay, so how long are your lives normally?
Well, sometimes they're long because I wanted to use one of the applications to make shorts, but my
Mm-hmm.
phone is too full. So I
Oh,
just
got it. Okay.
Yeah, but about
Yeah,
how
so
long in length and time do you think
sometimes
those?
they're like 10 minutes, 15
oh,
minutes.
that's perfect. Yeah, I was thinking more if it was like an hour or
No, no,
something
no,
like
no.
that plus, then I would give you different advice than I'm going to give you.
I
So
get on and get off.
basically, yeah, basically I still kind of swear by Vizard. It's just so turnkey to teach anyone.
Okay.
It makes making clips really easy. Now, I wouldn't just take automatically what it shoots out. Like me and Craig edit the clips that it picks. It's like basically having someone watch a whole entire YouTube video for you, go, hey, these moments would be really good. Basically, Craig, right?
Yeah.
And and go, hey, these are the best moments that I think people will get the most out of. Sometimes those are completely off or they're wrong, like it's just off,
Yeah.
And it'll say,
Okay.
hey, this short will do really, really well, and it's wrong. The title's wrong, the short wouldn't do really, really well, and those types of things. So I think um it's a process that you just keep practicing at, but Visor just exponentially makes it easier and faster. Like I always
Okay.
say, like with making shorts or content, it's better that you make a lot, than make a little. And I'm even seeing this myself, as I've stepped back from making content and started working on things behind the scenes again. Um, I'm watching my YouTube channel's algorithm get messed up because I'm not consistently uploading anymore. So like I think
Okay.
that's something you always have to think about. And it's like odds are if you have 10 shorts that you have available from one video, or maybe you have five, probably a good idea to do 2 or 3 of those a day. Don't just like post all five because then 2 of them are probably going to go to the graveyard. Like the algorithm's going to pick the 3 best ones, and then the other 2 are just not going to get any views. They'll get 5 or 10 or less. And you want to like shoot at least for growing views every video if you can, a couple.
So
Um,
should I do like your dad? And I was gonna say, should I do like dad? Should I do like our
right,
dad?
exactly.
Should I do like dad and just upload the longer video as well using Vizard and then do shorts or just do shorts?
So it really depends on like how like the cool thing about that is that you can tie the shorts into a related video with the long form video. So if
Yes.
someone watches the short, then they can see that and go, "Oh, I'm going to go watch like this whole video instead. I liked what I
Okay.
saw here." So I absolutely recommend doing that. I would say because of the way that live videos are, you might want to edit certain aspects out of it, and Vizard makes this easy. Basically, certain words or silences or pauses or whatever. Some
Okay.
people do those things. Some people are like, here's another issue that a lot of people have live, is an issue that I dealt with for a really long time. Just blowing through everything. So like reading too fast or talking too fast. That's like probably one of the biggest hurdles to get over when you're like first in front of the camera, is not to be like, ugh, and like just throw it, like word vomit as much as you can quickly. And it's so important to like breathe and pace yourself.
It's
And
got
so
to
that's
sound
kind of what you
natural,
learn. Yeah, that's what
as
you're looking
natural as you
for.
can.
So if the live is like, you wouldn't consider it like something, if someone came across it, they'd watch it the way that it is, I would just reshoot it and make it shorter, same message, like, and
Okay.
upload that, because in a lot of ways that extra step might seem like a lot for some people, but every professional big YouTuber does that. So if they go, man, I was on this podcast live and I said something great about this, they'll go home, write down the video idea, make a video about it, and post it. They won't go take the live aspect from it most of the time, unless if it's like the person's podcast that they were on has recognition, right? So it will like benefit them to be seen with that person. But it's normally always easier to like get a clear and concise message down when you're recording, at least it is for me, than it is to get it out live. I like tend to like, you guys have seen me live. I'll ramble about something random that I saw on the internet, and then it's like, well, that's going to benefit who? You know what I mean? If they're looking to
Right.
learn how to make a film with AI or something, odds are me rambling about something that has nothing to do with that is going to be a click off for them. So that's why it's like, okay, I should reshoot this video. I hope that makes sense.
It
But
does. Thank you. I
yeah,
will
I think
practice
uploading the
Vizard.
lives is a good idea. Or I uploading those are a good idea
Hmm.
um if what I said is the case. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's simple to do, Dee Dee. And sometimes you may have to take your live and make sure that you download it, have it downloaded on your computer, and upload it, because sometimes the link on YouTube doesn't match well with Vizard. I don't know why. They're still working. There's some changes
so
that have been
I
going
actually
on,
think
but
that that's a bug. Not interrupt you,
yeah,
Craig, but I think that that's a bug, and I think the way to get around that bug is if your link to your live when you put it in Vizard has live in the title, then you've got the wrong link. Just go right click on the video and then copy that YouTube link, or click share and copy that YouTube link.
and
That
that'll
one will
work.
probably work in Vizard. I think
Yeah,
Vizard just has something specifically where it won't take /live links, even though if they're recordings.
it will take
So
/watch links. So,
yes, yeah,
because that I figured out after a while. But
it's
to add on,
finicky.
yeah, to add
So
on to what Matt was saying, I find that if you have a full 10-minute video, go ahead and upload it and see what Vizard does come with.
Okay.
Uh, because there are times where, in fact, I think just this last week when I was creating some of the shorts for this week, uh, it Vizard didn't come up with the same kinds of notes that I took. See, I take notes during all of the broadcasts because
Okay.
I know what Robert says and what Robert means. And Vizard
Yes.
still does not has not learned how to do that. So
still
then what
can't
I will
replace
do,
Craig. It's not at that level.
yeah. So
So
what I do is I figure, all right, if since I am aware, since I can do Premiere, I cut it in Premiere and then I put it up in Vizard in format so that Vizard will get me the captions that I need. And it will give me, because it has the AI with it, it will give me ideas for titles and for descriptions.
See, this is a great process, I think, to do on Saturday. Like one of the cool
Yes.
things about what we were kind of kicking around is it's like if you have a question like that, instead of us just answering it, it's like, oh great, here's how we do it. Like that
And we
I'll
can show
run you
you.
through it. But
Oh,
it would have to be more of like one of those things where we're okay with people coming and leaving, right? So that's why we're
Yeah.
like, we'll do it Saturday. We didn't want to take up the whole inner circle with like showing each individual thing, but it's like, hey, if you pop on Saturday and you need help with something, we'll show you. But be okay with leaving if it's not interesting you. You know, it's not the same type
okay.
of AMA.
Yeah.
So
That makes perfect sense because I was going to say I'm trying to do everything on my phone, not use a computer.
yeah.
Right,
I
right.
mean,
What Matt just did, laugh.
the
So,
thing is though is that's becoming more and more easy to do depending on like what phone you have and whether you want to be like savvy about it. You know what I mean? Like I think you could do quite a bit of stuff nowadays on your phone. Like I 100% believe that all you need to build a YouTube channel is your phone at this point. The thing about it is you're going to have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get that done. You know, you've already brought this up at the beginning. My computer has I have like 3 or 4 terabyte hard drive sitting here full of videos and stuff, right? Because I
yes.
edit them and I do all this stuff. I on my phone has been maxed out on save stuff multiple times, right? So I think unless you have some backing up method, you're gonna eventually have to delete some things or get cloud storage of some kind. That can help too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'll come back to this on Saturday. Thank you guys.
awesome. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Dee Dee, thank you so very much. And what a great way to get started. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. So after Dee Dee, we've got Kai, then Sandy, and then there's a question that was just posted a little bit ago from Lisa Marie that we'll go ahead and go through. But first, Kai, there you go. Go ahead, unmute yourself and please share with us.
Hey
Hey,
Kai, how's it going?
hey, hello everybody. It's a little awkward without Robert around, so yeah. Hmm.
Hey, hey, you
Anyhow,
got us.
yeah,
I was gonna say I got the last name, so hopefully that's close enough. But
that works. I'm just
it'll
missing
work
your.
for today.
I'm just trying to get used to not hearing your father's laugh and smile and
I could get a
yeah.
sound bite if you want and play it if you
Yeah.
I probably have it somewhere. It's funny. For a while I would mess around and like change people's noises for their texts, like family, friends and stuff. I'd get into their phones and I'd change the noise that it makes when a certain person texts or whatever. And they're like, what the hell is that noise? And
Kind of like
yesterday,
George Takei's. Oh my!
right,
There you go.
exactly. And so I saw this talking about me rambling. I saw this joke that this guy pulled on his mom where she was like laying on the couch and he was chilling with her and the TV national security alert comes on, beep beep, and she's freaking out because it goes alien invasion's happening. She's like going through her phone, she's like trying to call people and freaking out, and her son's just sitting there laughing at her, right? And I'm like, this is something I do to my mom.
You know, it's kind of funny. Like, I just saw that little clip this morning.
Oh, did you see?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
It's actually
So it's going
viral
viral.
all over
Yeah,
Instagram.
Oh, how funny.
that's great. That's where I saw it. So but yeah, I was like, oh, this is what I would do. Like I normally try to, if I'm gonna prank somebody, it's never like a physical prank. It's always like a, hey, I'm gonna screw with you with its sound or whatever. Uh, Physical pranks are
Yeah,
not my
maybe what we should do is
specialty.
get one of those sound bite thingies that like they use DJs use, where you push a button
Oh,
and
I know
there's
what you're talking about. Like a
and then there's
soundboard almost.
soundboard. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
but you push a it's already programmed in, and you push a button, and then that
Yeah.
stuff will come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been messing around with some of that stuff on the streaming side. Like, my younger brother, Kyle, loves to mess around with that stuff. So we'll be playing games or I'll be streaming games or something and he'll be doing sounds in between. But yeah, it would be funny to have his imagine he comes back and we like have all these Hollis sound bites that just start playing out of nowhere. Be like, wait a minute, was
I
that
think that'll be really
me
funny.
laughing? I'm gonna work on it. You got the wheels churning here.
I
The
think I may have
imagination's
something
going.
that we can use in the short term in the meantime. So
Yeah.
we'll play around.
And
here.
actually,
I like
in
that
response
smirk,
to
Craig.
Go
and
ahead,
actually
Kai.
in response
Sorry.
to yes, it's okay. And actually in response to Dee Dee's situation, because she said she's running on trying her to run everything on her phone. I've been running everything on my phone for 6 years. What you can do? Do you have an iPhone?
Okay, hang
I
on.
think
Let me
she's got a
bring Dee Dee on
Samsung
board.
phone.
I'm an Android girl.
Okay, check and I don't know anything about Androids, but check to see if you have iCloud storage. You could actually make some purchased iCloud storage on your
It's similar, yeah. For her,
yeah,
it would be like Google Drive,
Yeah,
something
Google
like
Drive
um,
that.
has
Yeah,
or
you can
whatever
have more
Google's
space.
version of that. Craig
and
would know, but yeah,
yeah,
iCloud
99
is.
cents a month goes a long way.
It does. It does. I think I still pay 99 cents and I still haven't maxed it out, but I don't,
Yeah.
my phone's an iPhone 11. I haven't updated in a very, very long time. So
Mm-hmm. So,
I
but
don't
anyway,
because I'm always here. So it's like I got all this shit around me. Why would I need a phone?
Yeah, I mean, when you got what, 3 terabytes worth of space and then some?
Oh, I don't even know. It's too much. It's
well,
numbers.
they are going to phase out the iPhone 11 soon, so big heads up on that one.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the next set of phones, you guys, is going to leapfrog the last few generations of phones so exponentially that we won't even, everybody that has the older phones they'll immediately go want to upgrade. And they'll make
Yeah.
them as cheap as possible just because the AI chips that are in these new phones, especially like the new Samsung phones and the new iPhones that are going to come out.
Well, you can actually
It's
tell.
going to be like night and day different how faster they'll be.
Yeah, you can actually tell something's going to happen very soon, especially for any iPhone users.
Because they're
I
slowing us
don't know if
down. Is that
anybody.
what you're going to say?
It's not slowing. It's not slowing. It's no. It's actually slowing. Some things are actually slowing down, and some apps are starting to act a little funky too. So that's like a little telltale sign that they're doing something to upgrade in the future.
Yeah, they
So
got to. I mean,
mhm.
it's exciting times for stuff like that. We're about 6 months or maybe even less away from us all having our own personal assistants to do quite a bit of shit for us. So I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward to that because I am not a organized person. So my
I'm not
wife
the
is the
most
organized
organized
one.
person either. I go all the way. I go all over the place. Like I have my squirrel moments.
Yeah,
But
same here. Same here. Did
but
you have
yeah,
a question, Kai?
yes, I do. This is actually with Craig because he knows how to answer this one. When you are dealing with somebody who is uh, trying to ask the questions and you want to help them out, I ran into a situation where one of my team members asked me a very good question, which was FDA related,
Mhm.
and I told him that the best way to do it is actually ask corporate or have their prospects um, look through the testimonies. Um, am I doing the right thing, or should
Yeah.
I don't want to be like a know-it-all.
No, and this is exactly what Robert shares is point, guide, and direct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can say, hey, look, I don't know these answers, but and this is how I would even respond to people on my team, call corporate.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah, you
simplest
want to
way.
train people as soon as possible
Yeah.
how it's going to work, your guys' business relationship's going to work. And as I've shared with you guys, I've made the mistake many times through my career in yeah, Craig as well, I'm sure, in making ourselves the in-between. And that's never a good idea.
Mm-mm.
Like you always want to teach people, like my dad will even say this. It's like someone asks a question and it's like, hey, great, here's the YouTube video that answers that question. Like he won't
Exactly.
even answer it sometimes because he's showing them, all I'm going to do when you ask this question, I don't know it, is I'm going to go look it up on YouTube, right? Or I'm going to go look it up on the internet. And so like I think you definitely want to put yourself in a position where they know where they're supposed to go for information that you don't have, and it's not you first. You know what I mean? If you say, "Hey, I don't know," it's like they're not going to sit there and look at their watch and go, "When's Kai going to get me my answers?" You know what I mean? It's like they should be going, "Okay, I need to go find the answers then." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
So
As what somebody just said it said it well. Peter and Linda said it perfectly. Get them to become independent as quick as possible.
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're
Because
not around and you're, let's say you're on vacation and they have something that they want to answer, they need answered, they're going to wait and wait and wait.
right.
But if they know how to do it, if they even know how to just say, hey, look, call corporate, they'll answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
Or look on the websites. I mean, yeah, okay, they want a quick answer. But you know what? Not everything is a quick answer. So,
Yeah, you don't have to. That's a great point, Craig. Is not you don't have to run on anyone else's time but your own also. Like if someone's pressuring you to get them answers like ASAP and you're busy, once again, train them how to treat you. If you guys message me and it's late at night and I'm done off working and I'm relaxing, I'm not answering your question until tomorrow.
yeah.
That's just the way that it works, and I've learned that I need that, or else I'll just sit there answering questions forever. And I don't know if you felt that way, Kai. You like get stuck in these situations where you're constantly the person that needs to be asked before they take the next step. And to be honest, like you could even see that as a sorting tool if you wanted to and say, this person isn't excited enough to go look up the information themselves. That's kind of a flag, I'd say. Because when
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about something, I go look it up myself. I don't need to ask everybody, you know what I mean, whether I should do it or not. I'm like, I need to figure out for myself whether I want to or not. So
Yeah, I mean, when I first got before I got my mindset right, I had my biggest thing that was keeping me back was babysitting. I was being
right.
the go-to guy, and when people didn't when people didn't get an answer from me immediately, they get pissed off, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh
Yeah.
my bloody god. Nowadays, I just like, meh, okay, listen,
Well,
it's 2 a.m. in the
yeah,
morning.
It
I'm
also
already
takes the
asleep.
frustration factor off of you because if you're
Absolutely.
pointing and point guiding and directing, as has been shared in the chat, Matt, when you take that off of your shoulders, you're a lot better person overall. Plus, what if you're out on with your girlfriend and you guys are having a great time, and all of a sudden you get a call from one of your downline, and you know they are that kind of person that they want an answer
oh yeah, you can't
yesterday.
let people change your state, especially when you're with your
Exactly.
family.
Mm-hmm.
That
Exactly.
that
As
needs
much
to
as
be
you
separate
want to.
always.
Yeah. When I'm out with when I'm out with somebody, the only person that I will answer is to either my girlfriend, because if I know that she is in a situation, or my family. Period.
Yeah.
The inner
Everybody,
circle.
or unless I know something that is coming up, then I will pick up the phone. Otherwise, yes, I have my phone with me and I'll check it every now and then. But if it's not important, I let it go to voicemail and I will get to it ASAP.
Agreed. I
Oh,
mean,
good
back then,
advice.
I mean, I was not a replacement dad, nor was I in a relationship with, even though we're not in a relationship, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, it's like, listen, this is my time. I got to get things have a
Yes.
priority, and if it's like because Becky and I are in two different time zones, we try to coordinate our best situation to fit our individual times. So from that point on, after like say 11:30, my time,
Right.
everything is put in the back burner. And back then, yeah, but
Yeah.
nowadays it's like
If you're
I got to put in my priorities.
yeah, if you're calling me after 10 p.m. my time, it better damn well be good. Otherwise, I am not picking up the phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that's one of those big mistakes that you make through life that like you have to teach yourself not to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Is don't ever put yourself in a position that's going to make you hold resentment towards this person even by not being honest. Like I'm such an advocate at this stage of my life for, hey, if something's happening between me and the person that I'm working with or a relationship or whatever it may be, and I'm starting to harbor resentment because we're not communicating and I'm not telling you the way I feel about what's going on, that to me can corrode a relationship like so fast. Because then you're basically having like a fight with this person in your mind that they're not involved in. right? Like, oh, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, or they're supposed to do this, or they're supposed to do that. If you're not telling them, then you've already made a mistake. If you're building resentment, then you're making the mistake. It's not on them. They're not the ones actually making the mistake. You are by not communicating it. So if someone does message you and keeps doing it, and you set a boundary, like Peter said, and you go, listen, I check out, like my dad says, I check out at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. He's done, right? And I'm similar. It's if I allow somebody through that, like Craig said, it better be a damn good reason, like serious, right? Or, you know, I'm just gonna end up resenting the person for constantly having to answer their questions, and then I'm not gonna like whenever they reach out to me anymore. Like, we're just human beings. That's how it works. So yeah, I know, Peter, I'm sure you've been there, you know, like you get in these situations, and definitely keep yourself away from them. So
And as you could tell, I'm a big late bloomer. You and Craig are both ahead of me on all that
no,
stuff.
not at all.
Oh,
I still do it all
no.
the time.
There's times
You know,
where it's
like-
like, oh damn, I shouldn't have done that.
And you question yourself, right? Like, could we easily not do a Saturday thing? And could I easily not do a stream and help or do any of those things? Absolutely. We could have taken the week off and said, hey, like, Robert's not going to be on, so why would we do these? You know what I mean? We didn't do that because we are extending ourselves, even though, like, you have to constantly check yourself and go, man, am I overextending myself here? Like, we're going to be live all these times answering questions and stuff like that. Yes, but I want to do it. That's a decision I'm making, so therefore I'm responsible for that decision.
Exactly.
If I got exhausted from constantly working on all this stuff over the next week or whatever it may be, it's my responsibility that happened, not your guys. You guys didn't force me to be here. I made the decision to be here. So I think, like, a lot of people don't accept personal responsibility. And I think when you make yourself accountable to yourself, it makes it easier, right? So then,
Absolutely.
Kai, you're kind of in a situation where then you're like, I'm not going to let this person take my time. My time's worth so much to me. It's actually my most important commodity that I have is my time. So I always like to, I'll say this one last thing, but I always like to say too, when you're talking to someone or you decide to have a one-on-one conversation with that person, all of us have a finite amount of time that we're not aware of, right? On this earth. We don't know how long we're here, and we don't know how long we get. So when you decide to be with somebody and talk and communicate or do something, the best thing that you could do is engage with it as much as possible, because you guys are making a transaction of time that you're never going to get back. So that changes how you spend your time. This is actually something that my dad taught me, because it's like, I used to spend time on the phone, and has anyone else done this? Helping somebody for an hour sign up or do something, and then they did nothing, when I could have
Oh,
just
God.
spent an hour doing prospecting and looking for other people that were excited, that didn't need any of that help, because they would go, oh, no problem, I'll figure it out. Like, if I have any questions through the process, I'll let you know, right? And so we've all been, and it's like, I still do that sometimes. Like, Craig, I know that me and him both still will spend an hour of our time, or more, sometimes helping somebody that doesn't want to help themselves, right? It's like one of our big issues in life. But once you start realizing you're actually, like, not helping yourself by doing that, then it's easier to, like, let it go, right? Is like, it's not worth my mental health for it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
spiel over. Thank you so much, Kai.
No problem. That alone needs to be a couple YouTube shorts.
Well, I will be
Hey,
looking
I
at
agree.
that.
Yeah, I agree. Believe it or not, you guys, if you wanted to really, really, and we'll talk about this probably Saturday or Sunday, if you guys really want to grow on YouTube, pick something like motivation. You don't even have to know what you're talking about right now. All you have to do is ask ChatGPT for the information. And especially if it resonates with you, share it. If you shot a video right now, Kai, and said, these are the top 5 ways to live a healthy lifestyle as a bodybuilder, right? They don't have to be your top 5 ways, because you didn't say they were. You're passing information. They could be Schwarzenegger's top 5 ways. They could be ChatGPT could have given you a couple of the ways. The important thing is that you made the content and that it reached people and influenced them and helped them out. So like, I think a lot of us always think, oh, well, I don't have the information. There's a lot of people growing on YouTube right now, a lot, that are doing nothing but making videos of puppies and uploading them because they love videos of puppies. And the channel that they're uploading them to are monetized and they're making money off of them. And they do it. You see this on Instagram, you see this on TikTok, you see this everywhere, right? So, you know, I just posted, or I said that piece of information because I think a lot of us always like stop ourselves from making stuff, myself included. So we go, oh, I need to know all the information myself. It's like, no, it's okay to share information from other professionals. When's that a bad thing? So that's basically what I'm doing right now. So
That's one thing I kind of thought about. I was and I want to get your kind of your personal intake on this. Is why would it be just easier? I mean, for me in my current situation, it seems like it'll be easier for me to actually start doing YouTube shorts and just posting that and just speaking out of my ass than binge and purging information. Do you think that will be a kind of a more
here's the thing. A lot of people think that they're going to become successful at content creation based off of who they are. That is somewhat true without a shadow of a doubt, but it's also a game of numbers. It's an extreme game of numbers. So like you could think of it as the lottery. The more videos you upload, the more lottery tickets you have at winning, right? So if you're uploading shorts because they're quick and easy and you can get them out and you actually get in a rhythm and you go, I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these a day. I'm just going to sit in front of my iPhone and I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these a day and then I'm going to upload them on these certain subjects. Put that challenge on yourself and keep doing it, because the algorithm, even though it may not be rewarding you at this current moment, it will in the long term if you keep that up. And that's what a lot of people do. Is it's like exercise, right? If I got immediate results from lifting the same day that I lifted, I'd lift every day. But I don't. I get the results later. So since that's the case, why do most people quit exercising? Because they don't immediately lose weight, right? Or they don't immediately get fit. It's a process, and YouTube is the same. I think a lot of people think I'm going to make something and then eventually, or I'm going to make something and then my channel will pick up steam. I've seen streamers and YouTubers go years without any views, and then one lottery ticket hits, and then all their views come from that.
That's the thing is, I mean, I honestly don't have. I mean, it happens, awesome, but honestly, I just don't want to like. I mean, YouTube is not my priority right now. It's like right now,
Sure.
Clearly, I know I'm putting putting all my eggs in one basket, but my main thing with my life situation is to like go be on stage at the high rank levels with Robert at MDC, and go from there. In the meantime,
yeah. Here's an interesting question, just because it's the inner circle. Do you think that the people that are on stage getting those awards, do you think that they have influence?
I honestly don't. You mean on YouTube?
No, just in general, like that they have a community, they have a group that
When
they
they're
have
at an
influence
MDC
over.
event or whatever company you're
Absolutely,
involved with.
yes.
That's an interesting thing that I've talked to my dad about a little bit, because the interesting thing about it is you have to be somewhat okay with building your little niche community and having influence and saying this is the direction we're going to go in. If you don't have that, then you might as well be selling products, because it's like a football team. It's to be successful at this business, you really have to decide what type of this business you want to run. And that comes from this exact same place you're talking about, envisioning yourself, meditating on it. And if it's like, okay, I'm going to be on stage accepting an award, I want to be one of the top earners in the company. What's very, very interesting about that is sometimes that goal you can't reach it yet, because there's like growth in you that needs to happen, right? I can tell you guys right now, every single time I've done network marketing, it's gone well and I've hated it every single time. I'm not in network marketing right now. I help my dad build the Hollis organization position and all of that stuff. But I don't have a personal spot in network marketing because for me, I have a really hard time with the babysitting part. I do. Like it's a difficult part of the job for me. Like
which I was struggling with as well, because it came to the point where I just finally decided to draw the line 3 months,
yes.
2 months
Yeah.
ago.
And so now, if I was going to do it now that I've grown and now that I've worked on myself, I would go, what type of business do I want to build in network marketing? Well, I want a business that I don't really have to like nurture the group. Okay, well then what does that mean? I need to collaborate with someone that is good at that.
Mhm.
Does anybody know anybody? No. So like that's what ends up happening, right? Like I'm going, okay, if I'm going to get a spot, I'm going to find and sign up under somebody that does have that community and nurtures them and just plug them into that, because that's not something that I want to do and foster. And so like that's an interesting part of the conversation that I think a lot of people don't have, because everybody always looks at themselves and goes, I want to be in the NFL. You know what I mean? I want to be walking the stage and getting an Academy Award. And they tell you to envision this stuff, and it's not a bad thing. But at the same time, you could quit your mission to get there, because that wasn't, like my dad said, and you guys will see in the podcast tomorrow that comes out, that's not your inspiration. That's not your journey. That's not your mission. So it's like, well, okay, if I were to be at the top rank in a network marketing company, my mentality, I don't even want to walk across the stage. I'd rather it be somebody else's name and I'm making the money and I have nothing to do with any of the recognition aspects of it. But that's for me. I've accepted that that's a part of me. So I'm not going to hate on people that love those things. You know what I mean? That would make no sense. But if I was like, I don't want to do that, it might be great to find like a Robert Hollis or Kai, you want to walk across the stage, find somebody like you, and then go, great, let's put this guy up on the stage because he wants to be there. You know what I mean? I don't want to be there. So let's build around that. Um, does that make sense to anybody? I don't know if I'm just rambling here, but I
Yeah,
think
it does, Matt. I mean, I've actually seen, because
it's
I
the
used to
same with
work on the
YouTube.
backside, on the corporate side. I've seen it where two or three people share the same position, and one
Yep.
person is the one who goes out and does the presentations. Another one is the one who handles a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, the organizing and stuff, and a third person uh, is the person who kind of goes out and talks to the people and gets them excited. So,
Absolutely.
it just depends on the type of person that you are, and they will they will share the position. Whatever the money, whatever, if you make $3, each one gets $1.
I mean, here's the thing though, and I brought this up even when I talked to my dad about this, because we've been talking about collaboration and stuff a lot more lately. Instead of becoming the person that you think you need to be, just be yourself and find that person that fits with you. And like my best example of this, and everybody knows it, is Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. If
Yes.
Wozniak would have just went his way with it, we would have never had Apple, right? He wanted to build computers that were for nerds, that parts would come in and out of them and you could interchange them, basically modern computers, right? And Steve Jobs said that's way too complicated, way too niche, especially at that time. No one's going to buy that and no one's going to be a success at this. You're going to make like 10 of these. He's like, what if we made a closed infrastructure that all works together and worked towards simplicity instead? Get a personal computer in every person's home. You have the technology here. You just don't have the marketing abilities to do it. If Wozniak would have wanted to do it, he would have never marketed it. He needed Steve Jobs to make Apple. It was the only way it would have happened. So now we're all here with all of our Apple stuff because two guys that had the opposite skills collaborated together. If it was just Steve Jobs, you can ask anybody this. Dude didn't graduate college in engineering, didn't do anything to do with any of those things. He was a genius with marketing and concepts and ideas, but he did not develop and build any of the engineering feats that Apple did. Those were done by engineers. So I think that just goes to show, right? Even longer into his career in life, he still was collaborating with people like Johnny Ives to make the iPhone and stuff like that. So
Anything else, Kai?
Long-winded answer, but
Okay.
Kai, you have anything else or
No,
nothing?
no. You said it. You hit everything on the spot.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kai. Appreciate it. Now I know Sandy, you're up next, but I just want to, Dee Dee, are you following up with what was shared, or do you have something else you want to share with us?
I just was going to say to Kai's issue. So I put in Messenger to Robert different messages. Like if I see something that I think he would like or might resonate with him, but I don't expect him to reply. So I was just going to say maybe your people are not expecting you to. But another thing is I think when we get a new person, like me, I work after work. So I could say, hey, I'm here from like basically 5 to 7:30. We can manage people's expectations like that. Then the final thing I was going to say was so manage people's we all need to get comfortable with saying email corporation, email our corp. They don't take phone calls anymore. The email is super fast. And I have told my members, here's the email. You have to email them and let them reply back to you.
That's what
Okay.
I've been doing
So
recently.
manage people's expectations.
Yep.
And let them know you have other things to do besides my daily choice. If you're like me and you work, whatever. And then we just need to say, email the corporation. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, no,
Perfect.
and Dee Dee's right is in setting the boundaries too. And I know we've been kind of skirting around it, but she's got a full-time job during the day. So if you're available, you can say, hey, look, I'm available Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Okay? Anything before or after, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Right, Dee Dee?
Yeah, even Jerome said the live chat works too. I was gonna say, like, if something happens with my Amazon delivery, I'm in live chat. I'm not calling up Amazon.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
frustrating, those calls. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
no.
manage people's expectations. I work in sales in the daytime. I have to do that to my brokers. I
Yep.
learned when I respond right back to them, then they rapid fire me with another question. I stopped doing that 20 years ago. No.
And it honestly teaches them to replicate your unhealthy work-life balance.
Yes.
Because then they,
Oh.
just like my dad says with duplication, then they go, man, I'm gonna have to be available all the time. It's like, actually,
Yes.
you should only be available when they're paying you. That's when
Yeah.
they're paying you for your time.
Yes.
That's the trade that's happening, right? They don't own you as a person. So when you clock out, you're done. So
Yeah.
most
Hopefully
people,
that
unless if
helps.
you're an entrepreneur.
All
Thanks,
right.
Dee Dee.
Thank you very much for the input, Dee Dee. Appreciate that. And just to let everybody know, I posted again in the chat. Kai is still in the running, although he's now 9th place in the quarterfinals. But
I was
now
gonna
there's
say,
more
thanks for
people.
reminding me.
Yeah, please vote. I put the link in the chat. Kai needs our help. He was number 1 in the division that he was in. Now I believe it's everybody. So it's Top Gun here. In other words, he ended up being first in the alternate division, which went up because he got to second in his division. So now everybody's together competing for the finals. So please, if you get the chance, go to the link that I shared in the chat, vote for him. You have a free vote, which was 2 for 1. So if you just put 1 vote, it's 2 votes. But if you can help him more, $10 minimum, 10 votes. And you could put in as much as you need to help him get up higher. Honestly, now here's what I want everybody to do. If those that have cameras on, I want you to give Kai a big hand, because you know what? Making it to the quarterfinals in this, Kai, given everything that you've been through, given everything that you've done, congratulations. We are really, really, really proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, Craig. I mean, it's those words was wow. I'm trying hard not to tear up because I did not expect that coming. Oh man. But yes, thank you so much, everybody. Much appreciated. And this is not just for me; it's also for Molly, Becky's daughter, and I am planning planning to give a percentage of the winnings to childhood cancer research. So this is not just about me here. It's about a lot of other people, specifically children.
And the voting
Thank
is
you so much, Kai.
continuing until Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. Pacific. So 7 more days.
Yes,
So
correct.
we've got some time, and you can vote every day. So let's do it. All right, Kai, thank you so much again.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything Craig said as well. Thank you so much for sharing this with the group too, like making us part of this process so we can support you and support, the charities that are being involved and stuff like that as well. I just think that's, like I said in the last one, I think that that's just I'm always gonna be a fan of that. That's actually how I met my wife, was donating to a charity. So yeah, thank you so much, Kai. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Let's move on. Sandy Baker, thank you so much for your patience. Go ahead and mute yourself and please share.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, okay. I have a few things, but I'll put most of it off until Saturday. So, two things I really want to know is that when you guys are doing your lives or when Robert's doing his, does he use a teleprompter or does he use bullet points and wing it?
Number 2, and it's even probably less than bullet points and wing it. It's probably just wing it to a certain extent.
Stuff
like
from ChatGPT, he uses the bullet points, but beyond that,
yeah.
it's all
up there.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a new part of the process. That wasn't. Here's how my dad works, and I've seen it, and it's hard to replicate. He'll have a white yellow pad in front of his computer, and left, right, up, down, sideways, there are notes all over this yellow pad on all the pages. And if I get any of my disorganization from either one of my parents, is from him, because I take notes and do things the same way. So it's like I have journals that are out, like the dates are messed up on certain pages or whatever, because I just like to write it out. So I think that's what he does more than anything up until the GPT stuff, is he's just, when he has a moment and he has a great idea or sees something that inspires him or he wants to talk about, he's so quick at writing it down. Even when we're talking, right, Craig? Like we'll be in the middle of brainstorming something and he'll go, "Ooh, that would make a great video." And you'll see him just start scribbling on that yellow pad, make this video, and maybe he's putting bullet points or yeah, it's like the age-old funny thing, Sandy, of like, "Hey, go get the tool in the garage." And then I'm like, "Sure, Dad." And then I go in the garage and I'm like, "Where?" And he's like, "Here." He walks out there and moves like a bunch of shit out of the way, and he's like, "It was right here the whole time." It's like he knows where everything is in the madness, but I don't know where it is.
My husband's garage is that way, yes. I understand that completely.
I mean, I get that from him. Don't look in my closets. There's a bunch of boxes and crap in there, so.
Okay. The next question I have is, when it comes to longer videos, not just shorts, but longer videos, I'm still not comfortable going live or even recording and showing myself on there. So if I was to do one like that, and I know I've done this, but I want to know if it makes a difference. Should I have just one scene up there throughout the whole video, or should I make different scenes to put those in there?
So I would say, honestly, like this is a thing where you're going to decide based off of what you feel comfortable doing the most, and then on top of that, going back to what I was saying, you making content and anything standing in between you doing that is the stuff that you need to get out of the way. Not really, like, YouTube will reward you if you're consistently making content. That's really what it cares about, whether it's short, long, this way, that way, it doesn't really matter. It's just more that the numbers in the algorithm continue to go up, even if it's 1 or 2 views, because then YouTube's seeing it as like an opportunity for you to grow. There's so many people competing in YouTube that I mean, think about it this way. How many people do you think make a YouTube channel and upload a couple of videos? Probably the amount of people that like join network marketing and don't sign anybody up, or like one person, right? Like it's probably a lot of people, and so therefore you're gonna have a lot of people going, "Oh, this is hard to be successful at." And it's like, no, you just takes the same consistency that everything does, right? Like you're rewarded by doing the process more consistently. So just get the shit out of your way that's like causing that to be difficult. You know, my back's been hurting because I've been sitting a lot working on stuff. I was like, finally time to buy a stand-up desk. I have a stand-up desk now. I'm standing, my back feels better. So now I'm like, I've moved that out of the way. Now now I can do my shit, right?
Okay,
So
got it.
that for
Got it.
you probably.
Okay. So, and one thing I just want to share with everybody, because we're the inner circle and I can do this, right?
Please.
So, talking about things holding us back and everything. So, I'm 56, I think. I don't know. I'm right around there anyway. So, my real mom passed away when I was a baby. So, I was like a year and a half old. So, I didn't know my mom my whole life. My real dad, I never knew until I was 21 after I had my first kid. So I've always wondered why he never came around, anything like that. So I just texted him last night and asked him all those questions. So I'm having my breakthrough. That's what I wanted to share.
Wow, Sandy, that's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on that. That is huge. That is
Thank you.
huge. I mean,
Especially reaching out after
round of applause.
such a long
Honestly,
time.
yeah, I'm gonna say we need to give her a round of applause for that, you
All
guys,
right,
because
let me bring everybody in because we have to share that with everybody. That's
because it's hard to talk to strangers. It's even harder to talk to family, and it's way hard to talk to family that's hurt you.
I
So
know.
congratulations, Sandy.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing
Yeah,
that.
I asked him, I said, did you not know my mom was pregnant? He said, no, not until 2 months before I was born. I said, and, and where were you?
Yeah. Yeah, what happened after that? And you should
Where did you go? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think too, it's so incredible that you've taken that step, and I think that not only is that amazing, but just get out of it what is for you, you know, regardless of how he is, right?
Right.
Like this is a process of you growing. I know you already know that. You don't need that advice, but I think just you going through the process, like I said, of saying the way that you feel and finally getting it off of your chest, regardless of what his responses are. I'm sure that weight feels good to finally be like, oh, I don't even care what he says. I'm just glad that I got to finally say it. So
Right. And my whole thing with everything I say that's holding me back is I don't know who I really am because I never had them. And one,
Mhm.
I definitely can't ask. I mean, I could, but if she answered me, I'd probably die. But and
well,
then my dad. So I just said, forget it. I just have to do it. So I did it last night. So thank you guys for letting me share that because
well,
Thank you
Sandy,
for
let me
sharing that
ask
with
you
us,
something really
Sandy.
quick based on what you just said. I mean, you know who you are.
I know what I couldn't hear you.
You know who you are because you are who you are right now. I'm gonna it's
Yeah.
we like you for who you are. We are here sharing with you. We are part of your family because of who you are. You know who you are. Maybe there's just a little slice of you that is not as fulfilled because maybe there's a slight piece missing,
Hmm.
but you are you and you are here because you have developed who you are. So please don't forget that.
Okay.
No, like even with my dad too, Sandy, because his childhood, like I don't know my grandparents and most of my dad's side of the family. Like I've met them on occasion, right? For good reason. And I've seen him work through this process, even me growing into an adult, with his mom. And you know, his dad wasn't in his life at all growing up, other than in the times that he was there to beat him and be a piece of shit, right? So I don't know my grandfather at all. And I've seen him like I know you have children and stuff, but
Hmm.
I'm going to thank you for them for doing this work for them because one of the biggest issues I think that plagues humanity and will continue to, I can't fix this, is generational trauma. I thank my dad from the bottom of my heart for doing the work that was necessary to not replicate even an inch of that man's behavior. You know, my dad was so far from the opposite of what he got. And I can hear in your voice, and Sandy, I know you enough to know that that's the case for you too. That you're
Hmm.
probably such an incredibly loving mom in there for your kids because your parents weren't, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, I'm thanking you for them. I'm sure they thank you and love you a lot too, of course. But I just wanted to say that from the bottom of my heart because it is, man, them not having to deal with the stuff that you had too is such a blessing that I'm sure they're aware of, and if not, at some point they will be. So,
Hmm.
They are aware of it, and I've told them before. And I wish I would have done this earlier. but I'm glad I'm doing it now because now I have my 4 grandkids around, and right now I have all 4 of them all day long because it's summer.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I don't want them to grow up being this way because I know all about, generational trauma and all that. And I'm like, I don't want them to have to deal with it. Well, I already see that when Tiffany was a year and a half old. She's my oldest one. She's 30, I don't know, 30 something, 34, 35, something like that. When she was a year and a half old, I started having panic attacks because then I thought that I was going to die and leave her alone like my mom did me.
Mm.
So that's when I first started having panic attacks. And then, so then she grew up and she started having anxiety. And I thought, oh my gosh, well, now my youngest one, and I know it kind of goes back and forth, all the generational trauma, like she could have it from like my mom and my grandma and all that. I see her, she lets me take the grandkids during the day because I watch them for her. But as
Hmm.
far as taking them overnight or even out of the county, which is like 15 minutes away, where nobody's allowed to do that. She has to know
Yeah.
exactly right where her kids
Right.
are all the time. And I know that that's part of that. And so, yes, I'm trying to work on all of that for me so it can help them, so it can help the grandkids, and it can stop.
Yeah, I think that that
Yeah.
goes all the way down. That's the truth, and I've seen it in action. So like I honestly, when you're coming from that place of like love in your heart, there's only going to be like growth between you, especially when you're communicating those types of things, right? And so I think you being able to realize and notice that process in yourself and in your children and now with your grandchildren and stuff, I think that requires a lot of personal development, a lot of personal thinking, personal understanding. And obviously that's going to reverberate and grow through your family tree because it really does start
Mhm.
with the tops of the family, like the matriarchs and the people that really we admire and look up to. Um, I've been in family situations where uh, women are treated less than equal to men. Don't like to be in those situations ever, like those family situations, or you're in a group of people. Um, yeah, my kids are gonna respect women as much as I do because I had an incredible mom. My dad respects women. So like I think not having that generational trauma has a lot to do with him also taking us away from the people that are that way. Like a lot of his family members were that way, and it's almost like the women are there to wait on the men, right? And like take care of the men. And not that that's not a good thing, but it should come with also respect, love, and care and going the other direction. You know what
Right,
I mean?
Yeah.
So
right. All
so,
right.
yeah. So thank you so much,
Thank
Sandy,
you.
for sharing that.
Thank you, Sandy. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Now, let's see. We're going to do that. Okay. Now, there's a question here from Lisa Marie,
Okay.
and we both can, take a shot at it. Um, for Robert's videos, do you use defaults for the descriptions for some things? If so, what are they? Also, is it appropriate to have links in the descriptions? When can or can't we do that? Speaking for YouTube only.
It's not going to really matter regardless. Like Lisa Marie, like there's been a lot of tests on it's like, okay, if I have hashtags or if I put tags and maximize all 500 characters for all the tags, I've tested this stuff myself. I've uploaded shorts with no description and no tags, and they've done better just because they were better shorts and had the right descript or right title. Like I do this with my dad too. I'm gonna do it with you real quick, Lisa Marie. Um, when's the last time that you opened up a YouTube short and clicked on description and like clicked the links in there? Is that something you do?
No,
See
it's
what I'm
not.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because even when I'm doing marketing meetings and we'll have like teams and we're working with them, I always go back to the same thing, which is this something that I do? And if not, is this something that our target audience does? I'd have to ask somebody that's in that target audience, right? And it's like, I don't ever look at the descriptions for shorts. I don't.
No,
I
not
just keep
even the
scrolling, right?
videos. The only reason I
Yeah.
do is because I'm trying to copycat Robert.
Hmm.
Well,
You
if
know,
you
So
that
if you,
notice, there's certain things that are in the descriptions based on the video.
right, right. That's why I meant specific things because they're, like like in Buddy's place, for
Mhm.
instance, you know, I have a default set up that just kind of explains what my plans are. You know, that Buddy is a future animal rescue. And then
Mhm.
before that, I'm specific about whatever video I'm doing
Mhm.
that
So
day.
I'm gonna
You know
share
what I
my
mean?
screen real quick. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Lisa Marie. I'm gonna share real quick
Okay.
this. I don't know. I'll just do it like this. So
All right. Hang on really quick. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Go for it.
just take this and go over the screen with it. This is a channel that I follow called Outstanding Screenplays. Now, this guy consistently takes full interviews with actors talking about their process or talking about directors talking about screenwriting. You can look up the channel. It's just called Outstanding Screenplays. And look what they do. They put the link outstandingscreenplays.com right in the center of the video. Why would they do that? Why would they do that for every one of these videos? Now, if I go popular, some of these have 34 million views, 33 million views. They didn't make any of this content. This is not their content, right? They didn't go shoot these interviews or make sure that a lot of this is just free press stuff that they would give out anyways, right? But you can look how Liam Neeson threatens a fan. You click on this, they've got their link right here. If you go into the comments, the first pinned comment is going to be their link, right? Why would they do that? Because the only two places that people are probably going to look on a short before they do this is the comments to see what people are saying about the short that they watched, right? Anybody do this? I do this. So I know that that's the way that it's done. Now, how many people click on these triple bottom buttons here, go all the way up and click description, and then actually read this? Who does that? I don't do that. So people have found a solution to this. Oh, I'll put the link and pin that comment on the top. That's what I would do. And that's the reason I showed you this is if you were
Okay.
looking for a way to do it with shorts, Lisa Marie, I would just pin it as the top comment. Doesn't mean you can't put it in the description too. Like obviously they're doing that. This is probably saved to their channel. So they probably don't even like they've done this once and it just shows up in every description, right?
Right. So they are setting up a default in that case.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the only reason that they would put it here and put it as the number one comment is they're fully aware that ain't nobody going into that description to find it. So they're like, shit, I've checked the conversion rate enough and I know that people aren't going to the website. So I know now what I need to do is put the URL somewhere on the video that it's not in the way. Some of these
Mhm.
are full clips from movies, right? Because get this too. Shorts actually can be monetized with music and with certain pieces of media because
Yeah.
they fall into fair use because they're less than a minute long.
I did
So
not
yeah,
know that until today. In fact, I had one, a short with
yeah, we
some
used a
music.
song. Yeah, and what did it say? It comes back and it's like, hey, it's a short. You're allowed to use,
Right.
um, AC/DC or whatever you want to use.
Right,
So
exactly. It was sunshine or sunflowers or something. It was a song. It was cute. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing after I posted and I thought, oh shoot, I bet that'll get banned or something. And I
no,
right away that came back and said that I was
no, yeah.
okay. So,
And like you guys saw, the link, the URL being in there, you're going to see that that's pretty common because people have just found out that that's the only way to get people to actually look at it in shorts. Just because of the way people consume shorts, right? Like it's
mhm.
so bite-sized and easy that like we're not slowing down enough to process it. So it's like get great information in front of their face where they don't want to just skip it and then put that URL somewhere in there and then pin it to the top of the comments. Because if they like it enough, they're going to go to the comments and see what other people are saying. So like that's
Right.
normally the two
Okay.
places to put it.
That's
Yes.
good. You know
And then
what? I do
on the
have one.
YouTubes,
Uh,
on
Go
the
ahead.
Go ahead, Craig.
YouTubes, yeah, on the YouTubes, Lisa, whatever you mention if you're doing a YouTube, whatever you mention, actually even in the short, whatever website you refer to, I would make sure that that's either at the very top of the description on either way. In other words, I had no idea. I just learned something right now from Matt, because what I've been starting to do is changing the short, what I put with the shorts. Normally Matt and I would have long descriptions in the
Yep.
shorts. And now all I do is I put the title. Why? Because I want people to watch the short or the video based on what they see is the title, not the description. They're going to look at
Yep. It's the packaging.
It's the packaging.
It's
and
important.
if you can make it so that, hey, wait a minute, does a duck-billed platypus do this? I
Yeah.
want to find out. So I'm going to watch that because I'm
Yeah.
interested in that. Now, if you say a duck-billed platypus is a mammal in Australia, boring.
Right. I've noticed that my titles are not good, and that makes a big difference. I
Well,
mean,
okay. Here's a suggestion that you can look at what, and this is one thing I've also learned to do. You use Vizard, right?
well, I do, but
Okay.
I do.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, you can use Vizard, and here's the caveat that both Matt and I refer to. Use Vizard to help you get a title, okay? But sometimes, and I do this a lot with the shorts that I'm creating for Robert and for all of us, the title that Vizard comes up with is not quite exactly the message that is getting across. So either I use my own personal instincts and say, no, I like this,
Mhm.
or something that I figured out is using ChatGPT in the sense of a short. Once I find the short that I'm going to use, I copy and paste the short script, which you can get from Vizard.
Oh,
Or if you're
okay.
using Premiere, you can get it from the text side of that. And I will say to ChatGPT, create 3 YouTube headline shorts based on this script. And I copy and paste that 1 minute
Craig.
script into the chat, and it comes up with ideas. If it's not something that I like, then I ask it again. I hit the regenerate button. Matt, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Craig, that's absolutely something that you could show us on Saturday if you're interested, because
Yeah.
I kind of want to do more of a show than tell for that one.
Oh,
And I
that'd be
think
awesome.
then it's like, hey, Craig's gonna show you the exact process he uses to upload
Mhm.
our shorts and how he gets the script and everything. And that doesn't mean that has to be your process, but that's
Right.
the process that he takes. And I think us doing that
I-
over the weekend will then give you guys kind of a baseline to go,
Mhm.
oh, this is how they're doing it, and and
I
we'll
think
update
that
you
would
if
be
anything.
very helpful for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
do
Yep.
that.
I just got one quick question for Matthew.
Sure,
Um,
please.
you know what? I'm so excited that I'm gonna do a podcast with your mom. And
I would be too. I haven't
I
been able to
am.
lock her
I'm
down.
super excited. And I want it to be about her. I don't
Mhm.
want it to be all about your dad. It's like I want to I want to know what Terry's about. And do you are there any certain
Yep.
topics that she really enjoys?
I got one right off the dome immediately for you. You're gonna
Okay.
connect with this one right away. Animal
Okay.
sanctuaries.
Animals. Yeah, I figured that, but I
You
didn't
guys could
want
do
it
a
to
whole,
be
well, I was gonna
And
say,
she's
you guys could do a whole podcast on that, and I think it'd be a beautiful podcast to watch,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
and she
Like, I think
particularly
yeah.
likes goats and spider monkeys.
Yeah, spider monkeys
Yeah,
and
yeah. If you talk to her about animals, like anytime you're gonna interview anybody, one of the
Mhm.
best ways to go about it is to find 2 or 3 things that you guys really share in common, because then it's easy then to sit down and just talk, right? And
Right.
you'll see people
Yeah.
that they'll go, "Oh, I want to interview them," and they'll ask questions about a bunch of stuff that they're not interested in. That's why that person does the same podcast and gives the same answer to the same questions every time. The podcasts that are fun to watch is when they sit down and the person that's talking to them has an interest in what they also have an interest in. So it's like, oh my
Right.
God, what sanctuaries do you follow, Terry?
Uh-huh.
Which ones do you really, really like? These are ones that I've seen. I'm actually starting one myself here, and you could talk a little bit about that and share some of that. So it's like,
Yeah,
I think that would be the easiest in for you guys.
I
Yeah.
think so too. And also just certain maybe a couple of personal things. I won't get
Sure.
too personal, but
Well, just be ready because she'll answer you. So
or tell me
my
to be
mom is
quiet, eh?
no. She's not rude. You know, like my mom is one of the sweetest people that you'll meet. Like I know that the interview will go really well.
Mhm.
I just know that if you do ask her personal questions, she has no problem being honest. And I think
Yeah,
the thing that people really, really love about my mom is not just her honesty, but also like when she's honest, she's genuine about it. It doesn't
yeah.
come from a place of maliciousness.
I can
So,
tell
like, I
that.
think a lot of
Yeah,
people might be scared going, "Uh-oh, Terry's gonna get on my shit for not doing something." Listen, being her son, she's been nothing but a sweetheart to teaching me how to do things in life,
yeah.
even though
And you
she
know
has
what?
like that mama
If,
bear exterior.
if she's got something to tell me, I probably needed it anyway, so it's all
That's how
good.
I feel anytime she's
Yeah,
talking to me. Yeah, I love
right.
getting advice from her.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if it goes well, then I'm after you, Matthew.
anytime you want. I mean,
Yeah.
not anytime, but most of the times.
Right. No, we
Boundaries.
talked about this a long time ago, and yeah, I'm trying to catch up with you. I mean, you're just you give us so much good information, but I a lot of it's
But
over our heads, I
well,
think.
I would say this. I'm totally with you, Lisa Marie, because like I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard my dad talk about binary trees and certain other things, and I'm like, Dad, what do you even like? I can understand it, but I'm never gonna understand it like somebody that likes to do it, right? And so
Exactly.
I think when I'm sharing or talking about things that excite you, I hope that it excites that part of you that's creative. That doesn't mean that you have to do what I'm doing, right? Like
Right.
I love my dad will always bring up sports. I love certain sports too, but like one thing that I always love about sports is seeing someone that's very good at what they do make it look effortless. And if it's confusing, it's like, well, yeah, driving an F1 car around a track is probably pretty confusing for me and you. Um, unless if you have a different career that I don't know about, Lisa Marie. But I do know for a fact that if you liked driving around a track, that you'd figure out how to do it and enjoy it. Doesn't mean you have to drive an F1 car around the track, right?
Right.
Maybe you
Right.
just wanted to get in the race or try it out. And so I think
Mhm.
coming from that place, going, I'm inspired and I'm excited. And maybe I'll try some of this stuff out. And like I've said to you in the past, it's only going to get easier. Like it's not going to get harder. That's never going
Yeah.
to happen. So,
Right, right. You just gotta do it. And I'm giving myself these coaching talks and gosh, I talk myself right back out of it. It's just
well,
my
it's,
Dino.
yeah, yeah. Where do you think that that comes from?
I've been thinking about that lot, a
I think that's good to
lot.
think about. Yeah.
And especially and then Sandy kind of touched on some nerves there too, and it was
Mm,
like, wow,
yeah.
yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think it has a lot to do uh with early on.
No, yeah, and I would just say be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. It's not immediate. When you're starting to realize certain things that are difficult or maybe holding you back from even other areas of your life, because I believe a lot of the stuff like Sandy was talking about, people really don't realize how much that permeates down through a lot of things. And it takes a lot of work. To get past those places. And I've seen, my wife has been through a lot and I've seen her go through a lot and get through that. Um, I was fortunate with my family, but my dad, has been through a lot and I've seen him work through that in his younger years when I was a young kid and even as an adult sharing that now. So yeah, I agree with Melody. Celebrate where you guys are right now because even going, holy shit, this is something that I want to take care of or I feel a certain way about, even the thought
Mhm.
of that and the awareness of that is gross, right? Because the
It
opposite of that
is.
would be to ignore it, and be like, even if that person doesn't exist, like my dad he never had the opportunity to sit down with his dad and tell him how he felt about what he did. His dad passed away before that happened. So I
Yeah.
remember my dad when he heard that his father had passed away and he had to come to terms with the fact that he would never have that conversation. But I think
Right.
he had already came to terms with that before, or else he wouldn't have been able to do the things that he did. He had at some point accept, yeah, I'm okay with where I am with what happened. And that takes a lot of work, right? And you've heard him share that. So
Yeah, he's been
I
through
just love you
hell.
guys. I love you, Lisa Marie, Sandy, all you
I love you
guys.
guys too. You
I
guys
just
are
think it's so
awesome.
awesome what you guys are doing. And I know sometimes we can get into like the marketing aspects of things, whether it's MDC or anything, but man, the amount of personal development growth I've seen in this group and from you guys,
Yeah,
myself included, is vast. Like that just goes to show how great a community of supportive people can be. And it's like, if you guys are going out there to make like videos or content or anything, think about what your community would be like, what you want that to be like, who you want a part of that. And I think as you're growing and you get that opportunity, then we're just seeing that come to fruition with what we've been doing on YouTube now with you guys on here, and how
right,
fulfilling it
right.
is to like get on here. Like me and Craig didn't
Yeah.
have to think about, my dad's like, do you guys want to do the inner circle? Heck yeah. Hell yeah, we do. Yeah. So we're here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I expected it. I didn't think for a minute that
Right.
we'd canceled tonight. So
No.
thanks, you guys.
If
I
anything,
love
we're
you.
like, oh, by the way, you thought there wasn't going to be an AMA. Actually, there is going to be.
Yeah, you guys are the bomb. Thank you so much. And Sandy,
Thank you,
thank you
Lisa
for
Marie.
sharing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Lisa Marie, thank you so much. And I guess that'll do it for our inner circle today.
Is that it for tonight?
That's
I feel like we
it.
had a lot of growth and had some good questions and shares.
Yes, we did. And it's because of each and every one of you who has been on here to share. Yeah, definite shout outs to Dee Dee, Kai, Sandy, Lisa Marie. Peter, I know you shouted in because we asked you, so thank you. And thank each and every one of you for participating in today's Inner Circle. I almost said AMA. Ooh.
Close.
Close. That's going to be Saturday at noon. And I'm going to work on a couple of those things that Matt shared. And I'm sure that we'll all go through all that as well. So
it'll be
please make
fun.
sure
I'm
to
excited
join us.
about that. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. The podcast comes out at noon that we recorded yesterday.
So look for that on the channel, roberthollis.com/YouTube or youtube.com/at Robert So either way, you get it, you'll get it. We'll also post up the link in the chat or in the community, and it'll be.
We'll hammer you
available.
guys over the head with the links. We'll send them in the chats. We'll make sure you guys get them. So
yeah. So and then share them, of course. And
please.
We love you and we appreciate you. If you want, we really didn't have much to show in the chat, but there's still some comments in there. If you feel you want to go ahead and download that, go for it. Click the 3 dots in the meeting chat next to the title Inner Circle, and then click on Save Chat. It will download to your computer at the very end of this Zoom. So thank you all very much. Matt, bless you, my friend.
Thank
Such a
you,
pleasure
Craig.
to do this with you. It's an honor.
Always.
And thank you for joining us, each and every one of you. We appreciate you. We love you. So until Saturday, and of course tomorrow at noon, both times at noon Pacific, we look forward to seeing you then. Be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute so we can all say so long for now.
Have a great
you
evening,
guys.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Happy
Happy
summer.
summer.
Love you guys. Thank you so very much.
Good night, everyone.
Love
Thank you guys.
Thank
Sandy,
you.
Kai,
everybody.
Dee, Arlene, Peter,
Have a good
Linda,
night.
You guys are
Deborah,
awesome.
Peter, Linda,
Bless.
Diane, Rochelle,
Happy summer
David,
solstice.
Michelle, or Melody.
Thank you, Deborah.
Kathleen.
Enjoy.
You guys are
Bye bye.
amazing.
See you.
Bye.
So
See
I was
you later.
thinking, I know somebody else was gonna pick me up, but
Bye-bye.